got your jump from actually the talking books, right? That was before the Rich Dad Poor Dad, was it? So yes. I'd love to hear about that.
Sure. I think I have one on my desk, actually. It was a time, it was back in 1987 when kids didn't like to read, and we had 3 children, and I said, we need to do something. And a friend of ours was the inventor of the first talking children's book. And it was, you know, today it might not look that special, but back then kids did not have anything electronic. They didn't have screens. So this was a big deal. It made, made noise, and it got them excited about reading again. And so we launched that, and I learned a lot about publishing, a lot about manufacturing, dealing with international orders, as well as the power of association. Because we had this new technology, we didn't know if parents would trust us. And so we aligned with Disney, Warner Brothers, Sesame Street, Marvel Comics. And by making that brand association, we had instant trust. So we went from 1 million, we thought it was pretty cool, to have 1 million in sales the first year, to 9 to 23 million, and 4th year on track for 52 million when we sold the company. And so it was just an incredible learning experience. And all along the way, just understanding the power of scalability and through brand association.
So I'm curious, what kind of led you down that avenue to do the talking books? Is that something you had a passion for? Did you just have the idea, or how did that seed get sown?
Well, my husband is an intellectual property attorney, and actually the creator of the talking book, Zeb Billings, was a friend of ours. He and I both served on the American Cancer Society board, so we were friends. And I had many, many years of experience in building companies and getting through public accounting, getting inside companies and seeing how companies did things right, and a lot of seeing how companies didn't do things right. And so my husband worked with Zeb to get the patent for the actual technology in the book. But I joined forces with him to help him learn how to scale and be able to, internally finance it and be able to fulfill the huge increases in orders that we had. So it was a tremendous opportunity. Plus, I was passionate about it because I wanted kids to get back into reading.
One thing that I love that you mentioned is just learning about the power of association. And that's something that you've done an amazing job throughout your entire career, is aligning yourself with the right people. That's one of the reasons why it's so exciting to speak with you, because you are one of the OGs, I would say, in this space. And you have done that not by self-promotion, not through putting it on you, but through finding the right partnerships and helping others. Like your partnership with Rich Dad Poor Dad, most people have heard of Robert, but you were a huge part of that. So how did you, Sharon, go about like finding the right people to align with? How do you go about choosing your associations?
Well, you have to have an aligned mission. And it's, you can have a celebrity brand or a mission brand. And I've always been firmly planted in a mission brand. And so you want to say, how can I make the greatest impact? And if you align with people that are already in that space, it allows you to reach people much more quickly. And again, Robert had this idea for a game. He didn't know what to do about it. And he found my husband, who was a well-known intellectual property attorney, and asked his advice. And Mike introduced us, and it was the same message I was teaching about financial education and understanding the power of buying, building, and creating assets, passive income. And so we were very in tune with our messaging. And with my background and my experience, I was able to help him commercialize the game. And in fact, he told me he wanted to charge $200 for it. I said, that's pretty pricey for a board game. We're talking 1996. And so I recommended he write a brochure. And that's when he asked me to become his partner. And we launched Cash Flow Technologies. And that brochure for the board game was a little book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. All right. And we never expected it to take on a life of its own. We never expected to write 15 books together over the 10 years that we worked together. But that's exactly what happened. We became a publishing multiple games, multiple books, and a whole new series called Rich Dad Advisors. And we were partners, and I was the CEO, and I helped to really drive the global expansion of the brand, and doing it a little differently than I did in the talking books, because when you align with Disney and Warner Brothers, you have to write really big royalty checks. Right. And I said, this time I want to build the brand that other people want to align with. And so that's what we did. We built the integrity of the Rich Dad brand, and then Warner Books came to us, Time Life related to infomercials, a coaching company. So we were able to leverage, and we were able to receive royalty checks, which is a much better plan. But it allowed us to impact and reach so many more people so quickly around the world, and well over 100 countries, well over 50 languages. And so it was just a huge viral success before the internet and before Amazon, believe it or not. And you're so young, you probably don't remember those days, but it was the old-fashioned thing of mouth, people telling, viral marketing by people telling other people around it. And it allowed us to get the book into hands around the world.